There's 3 teams ranked in our conference. Mid-South Conference is, pretty strong conference across the board, but on the softball side as well. So, we were right outside top 25. So, hopefully, we'll get an opportunity to kind of prove ourselves early and kind of see where we're at, and, just throughout the process, work our way back up into that, top 25 and compete at a high level.
What's up, Tiger fans? This is Khalil Baker back with another episode of Inside CU Sports. Today, we are in the studio with Coach Wathen for Lady Tiger Softball, talking a little bit about her program, expectations, and who she is as a coach. Let's hear what she has to say.
I came back to Campbellsville University and started coaching in 2000 under Coach Donna Wise's staff with her and Ginger. So after I graduated, I moved to Washington, D.C. and worked on Capitol Hill, and then Coach Wise offered me a position on her staff. And so I came back and I did basketball and volleyball for 2 years, and then the softball job opened, and Rusty Hollingsworth gave me an opportunity to coach softball and basketball. So I did both for about 9 years, and then just became a little bit too much. And if you'd asked me 20 or 30 years ago what I would be doing, I would have said coaching probably collegiate basketball. But I just have a great love for Campbellsville University, and Bryce and I were really able to kind of turn the softball program around, and I wanted to stay here in this area and stay at Campbellsville. And I decided to kind of walk away from basketball on that. We had started to have a little bit of success, and recruiting was picking up, so just decided to kind of put my focus there and build a program that was, kind of just really successful on and off the field, and it took a lot of love and attention at that point. When I took the program over, there were some really good kids that were part of the program that we just really wanted to teach to compete at a higher level. And then really fortunately early on, we hit the recruiting trail really hard. Kelly Townsend was on the staff at that point. She had been on the previous staff and kind of helped me for the first couple of years. We had our legacy dinner a few weeks ago, and one of the young ladies that received the legacy award, or the first ever legacy award for softball, was Kelly Voris Turner, and she was a very good pitcher, and we were able to recruit the heck out of her, and she chose us, and really that was kind of the fire starter a little bit that helped us kind of turn that page and bring a really great pitcher in early on. But we were able to surround her with some really good kids. Michelle Baker, Angie Vaughn was here, was one of the seniors when I first took the program over, and we were just able to, Brandy and Amanda Newt, just really build off that and just teach those kids to compete at a high level and what it took to be a champion. And I think that's the buy-in early on, and then the level of softball in Kentucky was growing, and we were just able to get out and recruit some kids out of Kentucky and Indiana and Tennessee as well, and but just was able to have some success early on the recruiting trail and get those kids to commit to Campbellsville University. I think we're looking for kids that fit our program here, that are focused academically and athletically. That's been a mainstay for us, for 20 years, is, we want kids that are here that, really committed and, committed to being a champion on the field, being a champion in the classroom, in the community, and just whatever it takes in doing those things and raising their level of play. And that really hasn't changed a whole lot. We're looking for really great athletes that are successful in the classroom, and so I think that's always kind of been about what we're looking for, and kids that we feel like we can bring here and they're going to grow and get better. They're great teammates. They're really happy for other people's success along with their own, but they're really focused on what we can do together as a team. I think it starts, like we continue to talk about, with recruiting and getting kids in here that are committed to being a champion in all aspects, and not just I think you set goals to win the conference and you want to compete at a high level, but learning what it takes to be committed and to be a champion. And all the little things, it's a lot. I think that's just really important to learn, and prioritizing time, being organized. We want to teach our kids to be accountable to each other and to themselves. So I think that's what we're really looking to build on. I think kids now are more they're doing lessons, they're doing strength training, they're doing agility. So the biggest difference in kids are just, they're a little bigger, faster, stronger. They're more focused on their sport, so the sport of softball. We still get some dual sport athletes, but not as many as we used to. But I think that's really just been the difference over the years. Just the level of play has continued to get better and improve because of the focus that kids are putting in, whether it's lessons or individual work and whatever that might be growing up. So, that's really been the biggest difference in that level of commitment. This group right now, we've just really talked about competing at a high level and kind of having that edge just a little bit. Being fearless is something that we talk about, which is really hard as an athlete, and, just really going for stuff, especially at practice, pushing those limits and seeing, where you can be successful and, and really figuring out that practice should be harder than any game. And, I think that's really kind of the biggest thing is just developing that competitive edge. And, and I think we talk a lot about being a great teammate. And that it takes everybody, and just being ready for your moment, whether that's as a starter or coming off the bench, or you're coming in relief, in the middle of a game, or you're getting one pinch hit in a game. I think just being prepared for that moment, both mentally and physically, and and I think our staff does a really good job of that. We're very goal-oriented. I think that's important to know what you're working toward, and I obviously continue to say that about kind of be a champion, and I think that kind of rolls over into a lot of things. And we've talked about trying to find our identity and who we are, and I hope that this group and looks like our identity is going to be a little bit just being gritty, just fighting for everything, playing every pitch. But I think just that championship mindset is going to help us to hopefully reach some of our goals, team goals, individual goals, and go out and compete at a high level, and really focus on the process of what it takes to reach some of those ending goals that we hopefully kind of have in our sight. But it's easy to get caught up in those, and we really want to focus on that journey and the process and be in focus every day. So I think right now our goals are just really to compete every day and to continue to get better and grow as a team. And hopefully as we start to do that, then some of those other goals will become reality. We have two super seniors that have come back, and Katie Chadwell and Courtney Patterson, both in the circle. So I think they were excited to be able to get that COVID year in, and so I think they're gonna have some success and help us in the circle a little bit. Last year's team, Caroline Pitcock, who's a sophomore, she had a lot of success at third base and was an all-conference performer. So I look for her to really continue to kind of build off that. Emily Reynolds is kind of a kid that stepped up and had a really great summer and a really great fall. She's a junior, so she had a really good fall in the circle, and is probably one of our most athletic kids. So you'll see her in a little bit of a utility position. She'll pitch a little bit and probably play a little bit of outfield. But those two kids are returners. Jessie Daniels is a freshman out of Davis County, who is an all-state player, has led the state in home runs. A lot of power at the plate. Playing her a little bit out of position right now due to some injuries, but she's really stepped up and is competing every day at practice. Selena Metcalf is a sophomore that played sparingly last year, is going to be starting at shortstop this season for us, and just a hard-nosed kid, just works hard. So we have several kids that I think have an opportunity to really come out and shine this year. Taylor Wendell's a returner that has a lot of power. Hopefully, she'll develop some confidence at the plate and, be able to step in and help us as well offensively. We've got a JUCO shortstop that's coming in that we think is going to come in and help us immediately. She's just a nice player. She brings a little bit of speed to this team, and we've been able to sign a couple other kids out of the state of Kentucky. So, we've got a solid core that's coming in. Pretty excited about that. A couple pitchers and catchers, and just growing there. So, we're still on the recruiting trail and looking for those 2024s, but we definitely have a solid class that's coming in and already committed to us. We're supposed to open with Midway on Tuesday, weather permitting. So we'll be able to kick that game off at home, hopefully, on Tuesday at 2. And then we're heading down to Columbus, Georgia for the NFCA Leadoff Classic. And we'll play 5 games down there, 2 on Friday, 2 Saturday, and 1 Sunday. So, that will be there will be several good teams there that have been invited there, so we'll get to play, I think, a couple ranked teams while we're there. So we'll kind of jump into the water a little bit and see where we're at, or the fire, as they say. So we'll do that, and then we come back, and this month is a couple classics where we're just getting games in on the weekends. We have a couple midweeks, and then we'll end the month at the Gulf Coast Invitational in Gulf Shores, which is also several top 25 teams, top 30 teams there. So pretty tough non-conference schedule here at the end of February, 1st of March, before we jump into Mid-South Conference play, just to kind of prepare us for that. But I'm not sure how many ranked teams are on that schedule early, but we'll play several and kind of see where we stand early on.
Hope you all enjoyed this week's episode of Inside CU Sports with me, Khalil Baker. Please stay tuned for more.